sucks. Hey, we're live.
Good morning. Good morning, America. How are you today? I'm better than him.
All right, let's do this intro. Hello, hello, hello.
How is everybody today?
It's Jaime and
Sara.
And this is a special version of Live with Bottleneck. This is a week in review. And
what are we reviewing today, Jamie J?
Look who said good morning.
Hi, Lisa Sprinkles.
So today we are going to be talking about stick-to-itiveness.
I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah? You're pretty good at stick-to-itiveness?
I'm a female. I know how to nag.
That wasn't what I was going for.
Oh.
Yeah, so normally what we do is we have last week we had Glenda on, our new director of business development, and that was a fun conversation. You got to learn about a little bit of the inside of what we have going on here. But basically what we do is we talk about what happened this week, some of our challenges, how we overcame those challenges, or maybe we didn't yet, and then kind of what we're going to be doing next week. So,
what were your challenges?
Well, my challenges this week, I think one of the things, the reason why I put stick-to-itiveness there, we always have that underlying theme for each episode. And the stick-to-itiveness, I think, came with me getting writer's block and not being able to finish and, just challenging myself, being, not confident in, what I'm putting out there. And I think the stick-to-itiveness was just bear down and do it. And I'll tell you, I've told Sara, and if you guys don't know, I was in the Army. I went to Ranger school. I went to a Ranger indoctrination program at the time. They called it RIP. And I fell out of RIP. I didn't even fall out of Ranger school. I found out the qualifying course to go to Ranger school. And it made me feel about that tall. Like what a loser, because I had these shin splints. And I felt like such a wussy that I didn't complete that course. To have an opportunity to go to that is a big deal, I think. And looking back on it, that always sits in the back of my head, like I didn't stick to it enough, right? And I was injured, and I had 21 shin splints. So anybody who's ever had shin splints, it's no joke. It kind of hurts to walk. It's literally hair fractures in your shin, in your bone. But I should have just been able to push through it. I was a wussy.
No,
and
you can walk today.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where I felt like, if I really think about it, I could have probably pushed through. I would have just been crying the whole time because I am kind of a wimp. But it was a bummer that I didn't do it. And that's what I thought about when I was getting writer's block in this book. I'm like, no, I'm not going to quit. I don't want to have another excuse years later to say, oh, I was going to write this book, instead of just do it. So I think that was probably my biggest challenge this week. Well, that was actually 2 weeks ago, but I realized it last week.
So would you consider that procrastination in some instances? You could, stick-to-itiveness.
Stick to it. I guess it could be procrastination, but for mine, it got really hard. I couldn't think about, I just sat down. I just didn't, nothing came out. And then I just stuck to it. And finally, all of a sudden, it just went, and it just flowed. And I think that's stick-to-itiveness, like sticking to it and knowing that you're going to come across stuff that's not going to be easy. But knowing that if you push through with it on the other side, like I was just so happy when I finished that. I was like, holy crap, I did it.
Yeah, I was happy for you. and happy for me.
Yeah, I was a little stressed out during that whole situation. But that was, I think, I kind of had a chance to reflect on it this past week, and that was a big deal. I think some of the other challenges I had this week was my ear, got wax buildup or something. I can't really hear out of it. So I'm doing the old this thing and the earwax eardrops. Yeah. So we'll go for a quick session after this, so she can put the drops in there because I can't see my ear.
How's hockey going to work out for you?
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Your equilibrium is going to be a little bit off.
That means I'll score.
Maybe we should be on opposite teams this week.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be a good idea. She likes it when we're opposite teams.
No, I don't.
So you're not very nice.
He doesn't. He looks right through me. It's because he sees the whole ice and he's not concentrating on one person like I do. I don't play like you're supposed to. And
yes, she does.
So I'm always about having fun and you smiling and well, he is too. But I see everybody and then I don't do anything. But I have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. What was your challenge?
My challenge this week. Challenges. It's being consistent. And how do we get our message across? I think the challenges have been educating clients beforehand so we aren't presented with the challenges on the back end. And we're learning this through the process. But in our business, there are going to be some clients that they're special. They have special needs, and we have to accommodate those needs. I mean, that's part of what we do. So we have to change things around. But then in the end, it's like sometimes it comes around to bite you. And how do we keep that from happening? How do we communicate effectively and consistently across the board with clients?
Yeah, that would be one challenge. We had a challenge this week with a client where there were some miscommunications and misunderstandings, and I can totally see where they're coming from, 100%. Mm-hmm. And so these are things, no matter how well your systems and processes are written out, mm-hmm. there's always going to be one-offs. So there's always going to be something unique. And so you can actually have a system for the unknown in that this is how we're going to respond to this mm-hmm. in this situation. We're going to be very proactive instead of reactive. If there's a misunderstanding, how do we deal with that misunderstanding? And build a system to deal with unknown scenarios. Mm-hmm. And this was kind of a very unique situation that happened to us this week. It's never happened to us before. It was.
And I learned that I have to explain my point of view to the client as well. Because I had sent an email to the client and they got upset by it, really upset. Well, I was just going off information I had and I wasn't privy to some conversations. So it was just miscommunication. It was just mm-hmm. a misunderstanding. And it's everything's fine now, but yikes, I realize I've got to be way more detailed.
Yeah.
In my
it's super important.
Yeah.
It is. It's super important. I mean, we're dealing with adjusting our MOUs so that we mm-hmm. can address everything. There's just things like that are challenging that come up. Typically, for the most part, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Right? They follow the systems. We're doing well. Things are going good. But every once in a while, these things will pop up, rear their ugly head as far as not the client or anything, but that situation. The last thing we want to do is have a client upset or anything, or have any negative brain space being taken up for a challenge like this, because our ultimate goal is to make life easier for them.
Absolutely.
Right? So for the most part, everything's working good, but there are challenges that are going to come up and we just have to deal with that. And here's the number one thing. Don't run from your problems. Face mm-hmm. them head on. Mm-hmm. If you're afraid to deal with something because of a negative energy or something out there, it's only going to eat away at you. So deal with it head on. Don't be afraid, not necessarily to confront the situation, but to be able to be there and address it in a positive manner. And I think what you'll find is not only will you garner trust and respect from that particular case, or maybe you just end a relationship, but if you want to move forward, you have to lead by example. And if you try to hide something like that, or stay away, or, talk negatively, even in the background without the client seeing, it doesn't do any good for anybody. Figure out a system, a solution that's going to work for everybody, and just be positive. And if you're talking to your internal team, imagine that person, that client, who's very upset, by the way, is sitting right there in your meetings. That's how you should talk about it, because I think it's really important that you try to keep the positive energy going, because other people on your team will see this negative energy, and who knows what that will do to them, right? It could take them on, yeah, why is this person doing that? And that wasn't very nice, and da-da-da. And then they're talking to the other team members, and it just spreads a bunch of negativity. So even though, tempers may flare, frustration levels increase, there's always a good way to deal with that in a positive way. And that's making sure that you're there, not running away, and asking questions. That's the best way to diffuse the situation.
Oh, yeah.
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 That was a pretty big, we did resolve it though.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was, I thought it was a good,
Exercise.
process. Yeah, to go through.
See, she's awesome. She's smarter.
He explains it so much better than me. You too. That was awesome. So, hey, a great thing happened this week.
What happened?
HIPAA certification.
Oh my gosh. Hats off to Raquel. Rachel too, I believe, helped quite a bit on that. But Raquel for Bottleneck Medical got us HIPAA certified.
Yay! Woohoo!
Full blown HIPAA.
That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. It took us about 22 weeks to get approved. And she and Rachel both came together. It's so detailed. They check under the hood. It's like bend over. We gotta check you out. And boy, did they. And so we're really excited that now the Bottleneck Medical is fully HIPAA compliant based on the new remote standards, which is super exciting. Yeah, that's a big deal. I can't believe I forgot that.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah, so hats off to Raquel and Rachel.
Good job, team.
You are amazing to be able to pull that off, because it was not easy, because the way our business setup is fairly unique. It's not a traditional company. So yeah, so all you physicians out there that are wondering whether or not we can provide HIPAA compliancy, we can provide HIPAA compliancy.
Absolutely.
Now. It's fantastic. So speaking of that, I do have to purchase another license, because we got a new client. They need to do HIPAA compliancy training. Nice.
That's a good problem to have.
That is a good problem.
I love to help doctors. It's so neat to see the doctors come back and go, hey, I didn't have to stay until 7 p.m. tonight to finish up my notes. I walked out the door at 5:15.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like bonus. Yeah. That time is something you will never, ever get back.
Yep. It was fantastic. So what else? What else is going on?
What is going on? Yeah, I'm working hard on connecting documents for signing with our CRM, and that's what's going on with me. Sounds real exciting, doesn't it?
That's it?
That's pretty much what I'm focused on.
Well, good.
And trying to get a bank connected.
Oh, I've got good news for you on that front.
Oh.
Dr. Loreno says we can open up locally.
Oh. Hallelujah. You don't know the stress that takes off me.
Yep.
Yeah. This has been a lot of work I've been putting into this project, and I just keep hitting a dead end. I've worked with big banks, and they do great things. They're perfect for some people. They're not good for us. We've found a small bank locally that's business oriented, that does fantastic things for us, and it's easy for us to work with them, and they know us by name, and trying to get things connected. I'm going to be able to just call them up and say, hey, this is what I need to do. I'm not going to have to go through 10 hoops online, because this bank is so big that they have to have all these backup safety measures in place, authentication, I can't say it right now. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so thank you. Dr. Lorino, thank you very much. If I could hug you right now, I would.
Yeah, and so while I wanted to show this too, because this took a lot of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
We are HIPAA compliant.
Yep.
HIPAA compliant.
Pretty
HIPAA
amazing.
compliant.
That's a big deal. I didn't realize how big of a deal it was.
Huge deal.
Like my mom has set up, private practices, and she knows what all is involved. And Cindy Pezza, I'm sure she knows what all is involved with HIPAA compliancy, and doctors do. I'm sure. I don't know. I haven't been in the medical industry. This is my first foray into it, and that was pretty amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, really, really big deal. So the legitimacy is huge to get that certification. So yeah, expensive, time consuming, but we did it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's done. Now we can focus that energy and time elsewhere. I'm just excited for that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So what's coming up this week?
What is this week? I think we're going to have a pretty day on Saturday. For me, coming up, it's the same old. I don't have anything exciting. I am working on a new offshoot business model for us.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm excited about that. I hope to have time to dedicate to that. I haven't had any time lately.
Yeah, you've been working a little bit more lately. So what else?
What about you?
Today's Hockey Friday, so kind of excited for that. Get out there. And next week is kind of a you know what we did is the last 2 weeks we've kind of been working through it, but I think it's working out a little bit better. So every Wednesday we have our meeting, company-wide meeting. And that meeting, because there's so many of us, was taking about an hour and a half. And so we thought, man, there's a lot of things that we talk about in the company-wide meeting that we should probably just talk about to that department. And so as of 2 weeks ago, and this was Raina's idea, by the way, great idea, was to break out in departments so that we can talk about things that were related to web development or sales or operations or whatever they were, instead of going over all those details in the company meeting. And I think the last company meeting we had, not this one, because we had Boris Kievsky spoke. He's amazing, by the way. If you're looking to get your webpage done and you're a nonprofit, you need to reach out to Boris Kievsky. That guy is amazing. He's professionally trained in theater and acting, and he takes a lot of what that Hollywood storytelling is and integrates that into a page for nonprofits so that they can raise more funds. And his process is sweet.
Yep.
So he came and talked to all of us and gave us a lot of good ideas.
Yep.
But where was I before? I was talking about Boris. Oh yeah, the meetings. But what we've done is we specialize in just the departments. We talk for half hour, 45 minutes in those. So we really get down to the nitty gritty, and we do that once a week with each of the different departments. But for the company meeting, we're getting done in like 30, 45 minutes now. And it's more or less along the lines of how are you doing? What were your personal wins? Did you have any challenges? How can we support you? Things like that. And everybody on the team says that they like it better.
Yep.
So that was a big accomplishment.
Yeah, that was a huge accomplishment.
So we're going to be doing that going forward. And then next week is a big week because today, actually, 2 things are happening. Number one, I should be getting my acquisitions editor for my book. So they're going to kind of go through and tell me how awful my rough draft is.
It's really good.
And have me rewrite the whole thing probably. And get me running through that process, because there's about a 5-month process that I got to go through. So the book's coming out in August, but during that time we're going to do pre-sales and we're going to do the polishing of the editing, the book layouts, the covers. There's like a lot of stuff that has to happen here, but I'm really excited to get it.
What's your title?
So I'd love to know what you guys think about this. So the book is about 3 parts. Number 1 is culture and leadership. Go figure. Number 2 is systems and processes. Go figure. And number 3 is recruiting and hiring. Go figure. And so these are all the 3 things. Basically what I did is I kind of opened up, and they said my genre is creative nonfiction, because I kind of integrated some of the stories, Sara and me and my mom and the team and all that kind of stuff. But I kind of opened up the book, so to speak, on our business. And I did a lot of stuff that we do here. And so if you know anything about this, thanks to the wonderful Scott Beebe who shared this with me initially, but I have a saying that I absolutely love. And it's from Scott Beebe, called, if you do something as if it's the last time you're ever going to do it, meaning document everything. And if you do that, when it does come time to hire, or for you to delegate, or you find out a certain responsibility that you're doing is not really something that gives you energy, you can delegate that to somebody else so that they can take it. And when you delegate to that person, that other person that really enjoys it, there's people out there that really love crunching numbers. Mm-hmm. They love accounting. Absolutely, unequivocally, that is the cat's meow. No. 2 + 2 is 3. Sometimes it's 5 on a good day. Like, it is terrible. So, we have Steve Ferreira. Hey, that's amazing. My book is coming out in August also. Navigating B2B, Master Your Industry, Your Business, and Yourself.
Nice.
Simon & Schuster.
Woo!
Wow, good for you.
Way to go,
That's
Steve.
Fantastic. And by the way, Steve, congrats again on getting Gary Vee. That is so awesome to talk to him about that. And you've been killing it. I've been watching you. Congrats on the books. Thank you. Yeah, I was a little nervous too, by the way, because the publisher wanted me to put author. I didn't do it. I haven't put a book out, so I didn't want to put author, and I didn't have a book title. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about, because she said, Jaime, what's your book title? I don't know. I had a working title. It was terrible. I don't even want to say what that is. Thanks. Oh, yeah, you are welcome. That's a huge one. Huge get on your tap. So I was thinking, as a business owner, you do need to work in your business before you can work on it. The difference between that, for me at least, is I need to be in the trenches. I need to figure out what's going on. This is what I know. This is what I'm going to build. This is my vision. I need to be intimate in my business so that I can build these systems and processes so that later I can work on them and concentrate on the growth aspects of the business instead of, answering emails or doing this or those small minutiae, right? Very important, but mundane tasks that somebody else can excel at. I think it's very important to be involved in the grassroots level. Be involved once you get down the road to focus on growth-oriented things. You don't have to worry as much about those mundane details because the people that have been delegated those tasks are incredibly amazing people and very competent. But you do have to be involved. So I was thinking with that thought process, when I talked to a friend of ours, Andrew Muller, who, by the way, if you go to Andrew Muller Creative, he is an amazing paid advertising guy, incredible. Andrew Muller Creative. He came up with this title and said, Jaime, what do you think of this? And he said, do everything ... once. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. What's your subtitle?
I don't know what the subtitle is yet. That's a hard one to figure out. Hey, Efren, how are you, bud? Good to see you. So that's the title that I really like. It's kind of working title. Do everything ... once. And the subtitle is going to be something around, building business systems, processes, recruiting, hiring, things like that. How to build your business effectively. And here's the thing. Some people are already doing this. This practice is out there, mm-hmm. and it's working really well. So it's kind of everything that's working for us. We have some unique strategies that we use that I share in there and break down. Do everything once everything is done. Oh.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. See, I think it's okay. Do you think it's okay?
It is. Yep.
So, anyways, that's my that's the long answer longer. So that's what we're trying to do, and yeah, everything is. I love that, Steve. Do everything once everything is done. Oh,
That sounds good.
I like that. Do everything once everything is done. That's so perfect. Full credit, Steve. You will receive full credit. That's the title we end up on. Well, you'll receive partial because I have to give the first credit to Andrew Muller. Do everything once everything is done. That's amazing. It's so clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love it. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. Well, anything else that you want to talk about before we wrap up today? You're done? Mm-hmm. Look at that. We have 1 minute.
Perfect.
Well, take us home then. Steve said, cool. Awesome.
I'm starving and I have got to go eat before we go play hockey.
Okay. Well, we'll do that. Do you want to give us our outtake here? What we have going on? So
let's see. What do we have coming up next week?
Well,
it's not HIPAA compliancy.
Well, we are HIPAA compliant, though. I will tell you that. So come visit us on bottleneck.online/TV, where you can break through the bottleneck in your business. See, that's perfect. And what do we have coming up, hon?
Hey, we've got Angel Salucci. I hope I did not butcher her name. How to protect yourself from medical fraud. CEO and founder of Overbrook Consultants. Ooh, that sounds like an exciting one.
Yeah, it's really different. And when is that?
That's coming up Tuesday, March 9th. Yeah, and that's good.
At 2 p.m.
I got a weird phone call this last week.
You did?
Early this week. Yeah, I told you about it.
Oh.
So I got a phone call, and this guy says, hey, this is Dr. I won't say his name. He was my doctor. And he says,
oh, my ear just cleared up.
Yay. We just got your pap smear results in, and you're cancer free. And I said, excuse me, who is this? And repeated the doctor's name. Then it was a male. And I said, didn't you retire last year? And they just hung up. And I immediately called, my provider, and I was like, hey, your system may have been compromised. You need to look into this. And that's huge because this is the website of an entire hospital system in our area.
Yeah.
That everybody uses to log in, to look at their health records and everything. And I got a phone call back, a couple of phone calls back, but I haven't heard anything since. That's pretty scary. I think.
That's really scary.
Yeah, because how would they know?
They're going to get some HIPAA fines.
Yeah. So that's how important HIPAA compliancy is, and man, scary.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks everybody. Have a fantastic day, Friday, weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy life. And
spring is just around the corner.
Spring is just around the corner. Remember, create your own ripple. Thank you so much for letting Sara and I help stop the bottleneck in your business. This has been Live with Bottleneck, a special edition of A Week in Review with Sara and Jaime.